Welcome to Black Belt Beauty Radio, a podcast fueled by a passion to support your journey in developing your most beautiful and optimal performance in life. Each episode is driven with the intention to elevate your mind. When we elevate our mind, we elevate our life. So get ready. It's time to rise.
Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Black Belt Beauty Radio. How you guys doing out there? I'm hoping and trusting that you're all strong and healthy and feeling good. And I understand that that is a very optimistic hope and thought that I am holding right now, considering all things happening in the world with this, new coronavirus out on the loose and all that are becoming, affected and, it's heavy. Globally, we're in a very heavy moment and a lot of uncertainty is upon us. And I understand if you're not feeling that great and not feeling that strong mentally. So what I want to do is do more than hope. I'm actually going to do my best in this podcast episode to support you right now, to support your mindset, to support your body and your health as well with resources that will promote strong immunity. All of that. I want this episode to be uplifting and fortifying so you can operate from your most calm, composed, strong, and healthiest empowered self. So before I get into the episode, I do want to share with you guys, yesterday morning upon waking up, right out the gate, right when I woke up, I immediately had this thought to create group coaching sessions over the next 4 weeks. And the thing is that, I do have a coaching practice and it's a small coaching practice because majority of my time and my energy needs to go into my podcast and my brand and my makeup career. So, I'm super selective about the clients that I take on to privately coach. So this group coaching idea that hit me, it's something that is stemming from my desire, this deep desire to just want to be as supportive as I possibly can in these challenging times. An empowered mind and health is always a part of Black Belt Beauty. It is the Black Belt Beauty life, right? So understanding that now in this climate that we're in of, with this, disease and the fear around it and all that, now more than ever, it's really, really important that your mindsets are in the right place and, you are making sure that you are taking good care of your body, your well-being, your health, all of it, right? So the idea around this coaching session is to be able to help more of you, to do this. So really quickly, I'm going to give you a breakdown on what the 4-week Power Mindset group coaching sessions looks like. So starting on Monday, March 23rd, I'm going to be hosting group coaching sessions. I'm limiting them to 5 people per session. It's going to take place one day of the week, every week until April 13th. What you can expect in each session. It's a 2-hour session. So you're going to get a 10-minute guided meditation. I'm going to break down my personal empowerment formula. It's a core teaching of mine called the 4 S's. And this is going to really help to keep your most empowered mindset fortified and active throughout this whole, adverse time that we're facing and really in life. You're going to be journaling with me. I'm going to give you journaling prompts. I'm going to give you my top nutrition and fitness and wellness tips. I'm going to also provide resources from my personal kick-ass arsenal. That's what I call it. So I'm going to give you the tools that I actually use, love, and lean into for me to optimize my mind, my body, my health, my well-being. So, the intention behind hosting these group sessions, you guys, is to help as many of you as I can to keep your mindset, your body, and your spirit strong. It's so important right now. Like I said, if you're interested, I want you to check out blackbeltbeauty.com. The link is in the show notes, but it's under Work With Me. And I'm looking forward to, working with you guys and holding this space for you guys. I really think that it's an important time for us to come together, to unite. Obviously, we're going to be quarantined, where we already are. And so I think that staying connected to the best of our ability while we can't be physically connected is just so important. And I want to do everything that I can to support you guys. So check out that link if you're interested, and hopefully I will be seeing your beautiful faces and supporting you to the best that I can over the next 4 weeks. Okay, on to the episode. So a couple things I want to bring up. So, I posted this up on my Instagram stories recently. I want to talk about the difference between being highly cautious and being panicked. So when I think of a highly cautious individual, so both are facing adverse times or both in a state of challenge, right? The highly cautious individual is someone that is alert, is someone that is, paying close attention, is someone that is, doing all necessary things, protective measures. The highly cautious person is making sure that they are keeping their mindsets calm and composed. They are looking at their absolute highest level of well-being. And in that, they're able to, stay really open and connected to the inner wisdom, the instincts, the intuition that we all come downloaded with, right? The highly cautious person is also able to hold empathy and compassion for not just themselves and not even just their own loved ones, but for their community, for, in a situation like this globally, so it's being considerate and thoughtful and mindful to, everybody basically, in a scenario like this, everybody is affecting everybody. So for those who are, consciously thinking about others and being compassionate and being empathetic, this is while also keeping themselves safe and being, doing all protective measures. This is, to me, not just being a highly cautious individual. This is being a leader, and more on that later. So now when we think about the panicked person, right away, it's like I have this image of someone who's just frantic, someone who does not have a level head, someone who is certainly not connected to their highest self and not able to, download some inner wisdom, instinct. They're certainly not the person that you're calling if you need help, even if it's just emotional support. They're certainly not thinking about other people around them. You can't, because you're overwhelmed. You're literally overridden in the mind by fear. And so, for me, I think that this is a very, very important differentiation to address here, because I understand, right now, it's really easy to go into over fearful and panic mode. I understand it, but it's also a choice. It really is. You could choose to be highly cautious and, be all the things that I just broke down and listed, or you can, submit to the fear and, be in panic mode. But when you think about that, like, what does that really accomplish? I feel like all of you by now have seen time and time, like over and over on social media, so many health experts reminding everyone, by the way, stress is going to lower your immune system. So don't fucking do it. Like, you got to do everything within your, ability to keep your mind very, very calm, very calm. And, I do want to say again, like, I want to put emphasis. This doesn't mean don't stay abreast of the news. This doesn't mean like, oh, pretend it's not happening. No, no, not at all. Can you hear my passion in that? Not at all. I think, you guys, I'm not even a news watcher, but I'm turning it on periodically just to, check in and see where things are at. But, more than the news, I'm paying attention to, the CDC. I'm paying attention to the World Health Organization. I'm also paying attention to incredible doctors like Peter Attita. So Mark, he's in the show notes, but I want you to really hear this out. Peter Attita is one of the most badass, longevity doctors out there. He he's so smart. He's so legit. If Peter Attita validates something, you guys, I'm on it. I believe it. I'm not like that, but he's just so legit. And he's been on Instagram posting. He has a podcast as well, which I will have linked in the show notes for you guys. But he's been posting a lot of great content, talking to high-level experts about the coronavirus, and I really trust what he is sharing. So it's knowing what to pay attention to, and also how much to pay attention to. I was just talking to one of my closest girls, and we were talking about how much news to consume and all that. While I think it is important to be paying attention and consuming things that are going to keep you up to date with everything, I do think that you have to keep it in a kind of, don't overdo it. Basically, don't overdo it, because overdoing that is going to override your system, and it's not going to promote this mindset that I was just talking about, where you can be composed and collected in this challenging time. So one kind of fun illustration that I also want to draw up in your minds right now when we think about the highly cautious individual and the panicked individual, I want to plant this idea in your mind. I want to draw this image in your mind. Like, if you think of two fighters that are about to go into the octagon and throw down, whoever has the weaker mindset, whoever is operating from a more panicked, fearful, over anxious state, that person guaranteed is going to be the one that loses. And here's why. You cannot fight with accuracy. You cannot be as effective. You're overridden. You cannot be present. You cannot move, with thought and focus. It's not possible. Your nervous system is taken over. So, think about the kind of warrior that you want to be. I very much feel I live a very martial artist life, and a martial artist is always staying ready. They're ready. They're ready for battle at all times, but they're not in the state of readiness from a place of fear. They're just in a state of readiness. And when I say readiness, you guys, it's all of it. It's your mind, your body. It's one thing, right? So I just want to, put this out there in your minds. Like, what kind of warrior are you going to be in your own life, and not just for you, but for those that you love in your community right now in this, very trying time? Think about that. What kind of warrior? Who are you? It's really, challenges reveal character, truly. So, I talk about composure under pressure all the time. You guys who know me, who've been, dialed into me, social media, podcasts, all of it, it is constantly a part of my conversation. And, I even reference, when I'm training in the gym or like any form of my physical training, I always talk about how, yes, it's one part the physicality, it's the body composition, it's the health benefits, but really the foundational piece to everything that I'm doing, be it jujitsu, be it lifting weights, be it like going on long ass sand runs that are really hard, it's mindset. I'm training my mind. I'm training my mind to be able to be resilient, to be strong, to be alert, to be agile, all of it, because it's so important and it's so transferable to life. And that's why in this time where, I'm not going to lie, of course, it's, I wouldn't say that I'm feeling any kind of anxiety or fear, but I'm in a higher alert state, I'm calm, I'm composed, but I'm like ready to fucking pull out my samurai sword if I have to, like, to try and paint a picture for you, but I feel like I've prepared myself for times like this. This is what I train for every single day. This is why when people have asked me over the years, what do you train for? I always say life. Life is my sport, because everything that you can do or everything that you do physically can be transferred skill-wise out into real life, because fucking life is coming at you at all times, So it's just, thinking about how to be more composed under pressure, even in these moments right now when you are training, think about that, think about when you're lifting weights or whatever you're able to do, because obviously there are limitations right now. And we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that later in this episode, but it's just thinking about, everything that you do physically to take care of your body, I want you to start thinking about how this is affecting your mind to, be able to handle everything that's happening in your current state of life as well. It's really, really important. So next, I want to bring up one of the most incredible posts that I've personally seen around the coronavirus. And this is going to be a little pivot in the mind that I think is important to share because it's absolutely true. I really do believe this. So the post comes from Michael Gervais. Michael Gervais is one of the most incredible sports psychologists out in the game. He is also the sports psychologist to my best girl, Carrie Walsh Jennings. He's also tagged here in the show notes, Instagram. He has a podcast called Finding Mastery. It's in the show notes as well. It is epic. So he posted the other day a fun fact, and the fun fact is this. In 1665, Isaac Newton was sent home from university to avoid contact with the bubonic plague. This time of isolation is credited with many of his most important observations, discoveries, and theories, including calculus and gravity. Replace isolation with time for deep and creative thinking, and therein lies the opportunity. And stay connected to your people during this social distancing environment. Every single word, that whole post is so perfect. It's so epic. It's so powerful. I mean, think about that. Had that plague not have taken place, like where would we be? Who knows? Calculus and gravity, kind of fucking important, right? So it's this idea that, while we are in this, state of affairs where we have to be home and we have to kind of be more isolated, like what can you create in this moment? How can you turn yourself better in this situation? Can you, start writing the book that you've always wanted to write? What about reading the books that are piled up that you keep buying, but you say you never have time to? What about starting a habit like journaling that will forever impact you in the most positive ways in your life? Trust me on that one. What about, who knows, like creatively, like create a vision board. I don't know. Do something where you're using your imagination in a positive way. Like this can actually be a period where, believe it or not, like your next business idea is born from. And that business idea is going to, positively change you and even your family's life for the rest of your lives. It is absolutely possible. And think like if this scenario didn't take place, and you were just doing your life as you usually do, you wouldn't have had the opportunity to write the book that's a bestseller, to create the business that changes your lives, all the things. It's just another way not only to utilize this time, this space that you have that you usually don't have, but to keep your mindset in a very, very healthy and feel good way. Because even in the process of doing these things, it's going to be calming. It's going to be uplifting. And that is also going to support your immune system. I mean, I'm really excited about what's going to come for me in this period. I always have a lot of work to do that a lot of times does require me to just be more kind of isolated and writing and thinking and creating or whatever. But, the great example is the coaching idea. Like that came to me. I swear I downloaded that from my highest self yesterday morning. I mean, I sat with that thought, that idea for several hours. I meditated on it. I journaled on it because, to be honest, it's a lift for me, and it's a load on top of the load that I already have. But it just viscerally felt so right, and it stems from this, challenge that we're all facing. So I'm excited. Like what else is going to come, from me creatively, and not just creatively, but like in a way where I can actually be producing things that will be beneficial to you guys. I'm excited about that. And I'm going to keep my mind very open and exploring the ways that I can do that. So think about that. How can you get better in this moment? How can you, keep your imagination, your creativity active in a positive way? What kind of habits can you start integrating into your life now that you have more time? Meditation, journaling is two examples. Like, what can you do to make yourself better and to optimize this time and space that you now have around you that you normally don't have? What can you do? Okay, so moving on to the next thing, I want to bring up two of my most favorite books that, I think like in a dream world, I wish I could buy all of you these books and send them both to you, because now more than ever, I feel like they need to be on loudspeaker because they're so good and they're so powerful for the mind. So Ryan Holiday wrote both of them. He's one of my personal favorite authors of our time, our generation. And the books are The Obstacle is the Way and Stillness is the Key. So Obstacle is the Way has been out for some time now, several years. It's one of my most purchased and gifted books to others. And Stillness is the Key has been out for several months now. It's absolutely phenomenal. I post pages out of these books up on my stories often. And, people write me, DM me and ask me like, what is that from? So there you go. 2 books that I love, 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 you guys, that are so powerful for the mind, not just to keep you strong and empowered, but to keep you calm, to keep you still, to keep you composed and steady through this period. I'm pretty sure you can do an audio book as well, but personally, I love these books visually, like they're small. Get your pens and your highlighters ready because you're going to be underlining and highlighting. And I would love, 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 love to see you throw something up on your story from one of these books and tag me, tag Ryan Holiday. I want to know if you're impacted by these books the way I believe you will be. So tag me at Roxy Look or Black Belt Beauty and I will reshare them. So next, I want to talk about some fitness tips and resources. I'm personally not going to the gym. My brothers have gyms, so I'm pretty fortunate there. But even still, I decided I wanted to get some kettlebells. I have my glute loop resistance training band. It's the best resistance band out there. I have it linked in the show notes as well, but you can definitely Amazon, some of the resistance bands that you find on there. It's just glute loop is superior to all. Trust me on that one. But yeah, kettlebells. So that way, if I want to do some deadlifts and whatnot, I can do it in my home. They don't take up much space. There are so many ways to keep your fitness going. And I think that's super important to remind you guys right now. This is not the time to sit on the couch and just Netflix. Fuck no. This is a time where you stay strong and you stay healthy. If you live outside today, I'm so stoked. It stopped raining, so I was able to hit my beach run. I'm certainly minding the distance around people. One cough the wrong way can, mess up things. But I'm just saying, like, if you can get outside and, safely, get some movement in, walking, running, whatever it is, do that. Jump rope. My best friend. I love my jump rope. You can do your jump rope in a small area in your house or, if you have a front, or a backyard or whatever outdoor area. Jump rope, great cardio, so good. The other thing that I want to bring up is, I am not going to my hot yoga studio, but my homegirl, and I'm going to give you her Instagram name. I'm going to put the link in the show notes. Tracy Lynn with Love. Not only is she one of my absolute favorite yoga instructors of all time, not just because of her yoga, because of fucking her. She's incredible. Like just her approach. She's a yoga artist. And she has a Patreon service where she has all these videos. She has a library of incredible, yoga videos, movement videos. So she has band workouts. She has, recovery videos as well. She'll keep your body and your mind. She's doing sound bath stuff on there as well. She's an incredible resource. You can sign up to her Patreon service, which I also love too, because I get to support my girl. It's so important to keep supporting each other through these times as well. But yeah, that's another option for you guys. And, for those of you who are like, I don't have the money and I can't spend the money. I mean, YouTube has so many videos at this point on fitness. I just want to remind you guys that you can, turn to these resources now to keep it moving. I'm going to put more emphasis. This is not the time to sit and let your health just kind of fall away. This is the time where you get fucking strong, where you keep your everything from mind, body, spirit strong and healthy. So that's some of what I'm doing. And I hope that some of that resonates with you and you get active with that. The next thing that I want to talk about is diet. So I'm never here to prescribe anyone's diet. It's not my place at all. I do share my thoughts around, optimal nutrition. I share, certain foods that I eat for cellular health and, body composition goals. I do have a recipe ebook that is linked in the show notes as well. So there's 3 meals for each breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And these are not, heavy lifts in the kitchen. Homegirl does not have fucking time to sit here and like draw out some super, 2-hour recipe scenario. But all of the foods that are in this ebook are highly nutrient dense. And that's what I want to drive home right now. I know eating more nutrient dense foods and foods that are essentially healthier for you are going to cost more money. And it fucking sucks. I wish that wasn't the case, but it's true. So when I think of nutrient dense foods, I'm thinking of what's going to keep my cells healthy. I'm thinking of high quality meats. I'm thinking of, wild fish, even sardines. You guys, sardines have great shelf life, and many of you may cringe right now, but I promise you there's a recipe in my ebook that is so good. You put some like Primal Kitchen avocado mayonnaise on that shit and some seasoning. Trust me, it is so yummy and so nutritious for you. But yeah, other things would be, fats, healthy fats, avocado, even nut butters. It's like, there's good nutrients in this stuff. So, frozen veggies, obviously home run there. So again, like all of you are eating the way you need to eat for your best health. And I just want to really drive home this idea of like mind your immunity with your health. So think like anti-inflammatory diet. You don't want sugar right now. I mean, and anything I'm sharing with you about diet right now, I think should be always considered personally, but especially right now, high carby, sugary foods, hell no. That lowers your immune system straight up, and it's proven. You want to think about muscle health. So if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, get some BCAAs so you can make sure that you are, triggering muscle protein synthesis. You need all the amino acids, and not just all of them, because I know there's a lot of vegan foods like, oh, it's got the full ratio. It's a certain level, like a certain amount of these amino acid profiles that are going to make the difference of whether you're hitting, the switch in your body for muscle protein synthesis, which is going to help your muscles stay strong and healthy. And you guys, you got to think muscles are an endocrine organ. They literally are like a savings account to what is going to keep your body healthy. Okay, so the queen of this conversation is my friend, Dr.Gabrielle Lyon. She is linked in the show notes as well. Her website, her Instagram, and a podcast episode that we did together last year. She is legit the most high-level expert that I've ever come across about, in this conversation of muscle health. She's badass. She's amazing. She's worth the follow. She's worth listening to any podcast that she's been on. Another great one that I love and I've listened to so many times is her and Dr. Mark Hyman's. So good, you guys. But she really, really highlights how important it is to keep your muscles strong. And like one of the greatest examples she gives is when she was working in geriatrics, people who, elderly people who, come down with pneumonia, we know a lot of people get taken out in their later decades who get pneumonia because of the muscle wasting. They don't have the muscles to, the savings account essentially to, draw out what they need, the funds to repair the system. So, I'm not the expert in this conversation. I'm just someone that is so, I'm so grateful for Gabrielle because she is next level in this conversation, and from not just like research, she knows firsthand through experience. So I trust her. So definitely check her out. Definitely make sure that you are doing what you need to do to, keep your muscles healthy and strong. I'm really like, you should see my hands right now, like muscles, you guys. The last thing that I want to share with you guys is this, because I feel like I've been ranting for a bit. Lots to process. I want to share with you a post that I put up on Roxy Look a couple days ago. Just want to read this to you, and I'm going to let it sit with you and, and then I'm going to let you guys get back on with your life. So the post starts with a piece out of The Obstacle is the Way, one of my favorite books that I brought up earlier. And the actual post itself says conquer from within, because I think that is so important. Everything starts from within. And my caption reads as follows: a clear head makes for steadier hands. Ryan Holiday, The Obstacle is the Way. I love and actively back that idea up when challenge appears. Challenge reveals character. A strong mind stays alert, ready, and is open and available to listen to the guiding wisdom that is inherent within us all. It responds. It is sharp, accurate, and effective in action. It has the powerful ability to sit still and observe carefully. It is composed under pressure. It is steady when faced with challenge. It does not flinch. It attacks with intelligence and confidence. Fuel your mind with strength. Strength in thoughts, strength in resilience, strength in composure, strength in knowing that you are a leader and a champion who moves through challenges with mental toughness, agility, resilience, and confidence. Because you are. Because you are, you guys. This is your opportunity to show yourself how you get through challenge. I'm not interested in just getting through a challenge. I want to look back and go, Rox, you handled that like a bad motherfucker. You were composed. You weren't freaking out. You stayed steady in mind, in action. It's something I literally always think about when I'm faced with challenge, because getting through a challenge, okay, we all can survive, but how did you get through it? I want to be, and I know that I am, the rock and the zen homie that you call when you need support. I love that. And I want to continue to just strengthen my ability to hold it down in this way, throughout the rest of my life. So think about that. Who are you being in this scenario? How do you want to show up in this scenario? And not just for yourself, not even just for your loved ones, but for everybody in this world around you, because we all affect each other, you guys. So on that note, I love you all. We are all in this together. Let me know how I can support you. DM me, Roxy Look or Black Belt Beauty. I sometimes can take some time to get to you there, but I promise that I will. If you're interested in this 4-week group coaching session, Power Mind group coaching session, click the link in the show notes. It's on blackbeltbeauty.com as well under Work With Me. I look forward to supporting you guys however best I can. And I've got ways. And for the podcast, I've got some epic episodes coming up, so you can look forward to that. I want to just keep pushing out, content that's going to keep you elevated, keep you, adding more tools to your toolkit to kick ass in life. So lots of positivity, empowerment, and supportive information and tools, all of that coming out of this podcast as per usual. You guys, I love you. Stay strong, kick ass. I believe in you. I'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode, you guys. If you loved it, please share it on your social. Throw it up on your Instagram stories and tag me. I'm at Black Belt Beauty. I am also at Roxy Look, RoxyLook. I love connecting with you guys. This is a conversation that I want to just continue growing with you guys. So if you feel inspired to hit me up, do so in that space. I always enjoy hearing from you. If you'd like to support this podcast, you can do so by rating it and reviewing it via iTunes. It's such supportive help, you guys. It really helps the visibility of this podcast. So I appreciate and thank you in advance for doing that. And last but not least, if you are interested in starting your own podcast, or perhaps you already have one and you need help with, editing your audio and the production of it, I cannot recommend my producers enough. Resonate Recordings, you guys, they are the bomb. I rely on them. They are an absolute supportive tool to me and my podcast. So check them out and let them know that Black Belt Beauty sent you. And on that note, you guys, I'm signing off with all my love and always looking forward to catching you on the next.